Yes, I'm about to introduce Tom Scott, who appeared last year at the Thinking Digital Festival and brought the house down with a hilarious talk that I believe involved tea cozies, from what I've heard. In part, yes. In part. It wasn't all tea cozies, Lauren. Get it together. But yes, he did that. However, this year I think he has something altogether darker for us, so I'll just let him take to the stage now. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Tom Scott, and well, so far the conference seems to have had three main themes: the accelerating pace of change, the erosion of online privacy, and unexpected connections, and diamond shreddies. But I've got a science fiction story for you, and it's one that seems to cover at least the first three themes of that. So if you would, can we roll the video, please? The whole world turns upside down in 10 years, but you turn upside down with it. That was Spider Robinson writing in 1977. And I'm not sure exactly when the story I'm going to tell you takes place, but I do know when it starts. It starts at 4:22 p.m. when LB844, a YouTube user from Japan, uploads this clip.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
So he's gone on chat roulette, he's asked her to sing, he's recorded her without her knowledge and uploaded it. He's got 7,000 subscribers. One of those is a member of 4chan, the anonymous message board. He posts it there, where it's quite popular. And as 4chan users tend to do, they then spread that to all the message boards they can find. 10 minutes later, that woman singing has had 5,000 views. She doesn't know it. Her name is Jacqueline May. She lives in London. She's 22. She's got a Twitter account, and half an hour ago, she posted this. That's actually the last thing she's ever going to post to Twitter. Actually, it's the last thing she's ever going to type, but we'll get to that in a bit. Let's go to Dubai. Richard Taylor is in Dubai. He's an ex of Jacqueline's. They got together about a year ago. It didn't end well. He's currently quite drunk in a hotel bar, and he gets sent this video because it's going round, and he thinks it would be hilarious to post her address in the comments. Now, 4chan goes crazy. Someone quickly verifies the address, and a few minutes later, a couple of users turn up outside her door, wanting her to sing. Now, she can't hear them, and it's not the most compelling web stream in the world, but slowly but surely it starts to pick up a few viewers. And that link is posted endlessly in the comments on YouTube and on Twitter. Someone, somewhere, uses the word flash mob. It's now 4:45, 23 minutes in, 50,000 views already, and now it's being sent everywhere. It's being sent to people who've already seen it. That's the joke. A few more people turn up outside the door, and the web stream's now on 120, 130 viewers. Jacqueline has no idea about this. She's in the back of her house, listening to Rage Against the Machine very loud on some headphones and working on her pots. She has no idea about the thousands of views she's got or the people outside her door. But here's the thing, it's now 5 p.m. and millions of bored, switched-on office workers in the Docklands are leaving work. Watch the feed. Every so often, someone will leave Limehouse Station the back way, clutching a smartphone, tweeting that they're going to this flash mob, and following the directions. And Transport for London will notice there's a slightly unusual traffic pattern going on, but they're not going to know why or what's going to happen. There's no way they could know the bigger picture. Most people coming straight from work, most of them white, middle class and male, because it's the internet. 999 call.
There's a big group of people in the street outside, like dozens of them, standing around shouting. I don't know what they're doing. I think you should send someone.
We're now 1 hour in, 150,000 views, 100 people in the street outside. Someone uploads a remix.
You cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna...
It's musically terrible, but that doesn't matter. It just feeds into this pattern that's growing on. Stephen Fry wades in on Twitter and says the whole thing sounds amazing, and suddenly this hits every single corner of the British internet. Everyone who's anyone says they're going to the flash mob. DLR trains arrive every 3 minutes. Buses arrive every 2 minutes, and there's people getting off each one of them, following the small crowd who's going to this street. 3G in the area breaks down entirely, of course, and no one knows what's going on anymore. 603, police radio call.
Mostly IC1, mate. I reckon we might need the riot squad or something. Looks like they're out of it. No, there's no violence. They're dancing. No, it wasn't sarcasm. They're dancing.
And they are, because someone's brought the remix along. And then it's 6:21. She finishes her part, Jacqueline takes off her headphones and looks out the window, and there's a crowd! There's the enormous crowd filling the street, and they've seen her, and they're surging forward, and they're chanting for her to sing! And that's where it all goes to hell. Because no one really knows how the riot started. Maybe some local kids turned up, saw the crowd and wanted to cause some trouble. Maybe someone just shoved someone else and it kicked off from there. Maybe someone just got a bit drunk and decided to start a fight. But whatever happens, that crowd never got to hear us sing. Because suddenly it's a fight, it's a riot. And there are thousands of people who don't want to be there, who rely on their smartphones for navigation, don't know the area, and don't know where they're going anymore. And suddenly there's running and trampling, and suddenly no one's tweeting anymore. They're too busy trying to not die. And when the lights come back on, there are 23 dead, including Jacqueline. Her door was forced. No one's quite sure why. 167 arrests. Police couldn't cope with it all, of course. And then 2 days later, the papers have had their time with it, and everyone knows the internet always worked this fast. Because here's the thing, everything in that story has already happened. Just not in the same place, not at the same time. Some point it will, but we don't know when. 2 years ago, that would have been implausible. 5 years ago, it would have been impossible. 10 years ago, it would have been science fiction. But if that turned up in the papers tomorrow, would anyone in this room really be surprised by it? The whole world turns upside down in 10 years, but you turn upside down right along with it. I'm Tom Scott. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Tom Scott, ladies and gentlemen. So, Tom, I suppose the thing I've got to ask off the back of that is, like, how easy is it to track someone down on Facebook, especially this week? Everybody's worried.
It is, and this is one of the things that's kicked off. This has been one of the themes of the conference, and I'm afraid I did kind of feed into that ever so slightly. Has anyone here, I'm just asked for a quick show of hands, has anyone here ever joined one of those Facebook groups that says, I've lost my phone and I need your phone numbers? There's one yet, there's a few nods in the audience. No one really wants to put their hand up for this. The trouble is, most of those groups are actually public. And a couple of years ago, when people were making these, that didn't really matter, but they've just lain dormant. And about 2 or 3 months ago, Facebook opened up their API, opened that up to Google. So about a week ago, a friend of mine Googled her own name. It's a fairly unusual name, and found that the first result was a fairly obscene post she'd made on Facebook a while back.
We've all done it.
And the fourth or fifth result was her own phone number. Because a while ago, she'd given her phone to that group. And this sparked off something in my head. So if anyone has a laptop open and goes to tomscott.com/evil, you will find a little site that randomly chooses some of these phone numbers. It does censor them slightly and displays the name, the photo, and the phone number randomly chosen, just kind of endlessly in a cycle. Not as a stalker's tool. You can't look up a specific person, but the idea that the information you've put out there, even if you thought it was private at the time, can frequently get shoved over to the public without you knowing about it. So the advice is just never, ever put it up there in the first place.
Ring no one, talk to no one, never socially network. That's the lesson we've all learned. Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Tom.
Cheers.